Hi everyone, and welcome to week 25 of my No Buy Year. The time has finally come where I'm going to show you everything I've ever been influenced to buy. So by influenced, I mean I've seen the product online, often talked about by a specific creator, and I've gone out and bought that exact same product. So I'm not talking about like the long denim maxi skirt where I saw that all over the place and went out and bought a version of it that was inspired by what I'd seen, but not necessarily the exact same one. I'm talking about the times that I went and bought the exact product that the influencer was talking about. There might be a couple of exceptions just because there's so many things. You're about to see the horror of the true extent of my shopping problem, or I think it's actually more of a problem of being influenced. So the plot is thickening here. I mean, obviously shopping was a result of the problem, but I'm actually starting to think that shopping itself was not the true problem for me. The problem was being influenced and being able to be influenced, being open to being influenced, looking for influence in a way, and kind of aspiring to be like creators online. And I fell into the trap, and I fell in hard, and there were so many different categories of products. You're about to see them. I've laid them on my dining table. And again, this isn't even a comprehensive display. This is as many things as I could think of. The other kicker here is that so many things that I bought, the exact product that was being sold to me or influenced, I've already decluttered because they weren't a good fit for me in my life. And I didn't realize that until after I'd already purchased the product. So long story short, I've made so many mistakes. This is honestly perhaps the most embarrassing video that I will ever have to film because it will be revealing the extent of my problems, my issues, the money I've wasted, the capacity I had to be influenced. And honestly, it is a little embarrassing to admit. I want to consider myself a savvy person, a smart person, a not gullible person, but the evidence would suggest otherwise. It would suggest that I am very easily influenced, and I have thoughts about whether this is entirely my fault or the consumer's faults. But I guess before getting into all that, I should just show you the stuff. So let's go downstairs and I will show you everything I've ever been influenced to buy. Here we are downstairs at the dining table once again. I think the last time we were here was for my makeup declutter. And now we are here to see everything I have ever been influenced to buy. And like I said in the intro, this is not totally comprehensive. Some things have already been decluttered. Some things I might just have forgotten about. But I think we ended up with enough stuff, even if I did forget a bunch of things. So starting from this side, we have my decluttered clothing. And I'm not sure if I'll go through every piece here. Just depends how much time we have. We have my shoes, one of my pull-in purses, some more clothes, a lot of clothes, pajamas and a sleeping eye mask, a couple of bags, an air fryer, a cup with a straw, a diffuser, another bag. This is jewelry in here, and my Nord Green watch. This little rock thing was also an influence purchase, Dyson airwrap. Kitchen stuff, some like food items. I'm sure there have been more food items over the course of the years of influence, but those are the only ones I have right now. Makeup, you'll have seen all this in my kind of beauty declutter, and just some other odds and ends. So I'm going to go through some of these in detail, where the sources of influence were, who influenced me to buy these, which creators, not trying to call them out for judgment, but I will possibly call out a few, and then the general TikTok scene has been more of a culprit in recent times. So there we go. There's the overview. So as you can see, what a wealth of stuff. I don't regret all of it because there's some of it that I do use every day and some of it that is serving the purpose that I bought it for. But there's definitely a large portion of stuff here that I probably didn't need to buy. Or I could have bought a cheaper or better alternative. So I guess let's just go ahead and get started and go through some of these, some of the pros and cons. None of this is sponsored, obviously. I bought all of this with my own money, which makes it all the more horrifying. Yeah, I'm gonna start over here. As you can see, we fell into the trap of the Caraway pans, the Caraway bakeware, the Caraway storage containers, and then this random little drainage thing that was on so many Amazon must-have lists. We do use it, but we have a regular strainer. Probably didn't need it. It does fit on the sink, it does collapse, but I mean, all in all, it's a piece of plastic I didn't need to buy. So let me put that away. Oops. The Caraway collection. So we have the pots, you know, the big pot saucepan, kind of bigger frying pan. We have the regular frying pan on the stove that we use every day. And the lids are hanging up in a cupboard. I didn't think you need to see every single piece. We have the storage containers. And I got this specific color because I think I saw Hannah Louise post and get them as PR. So she got them for free and she posted them on Instagram in this gray, and I needed some containers at the time, kind of, and decided to spring for these really expensive ones that you can't use utensils in because they'll get scratched. So that was kind of dumb. If I could do it over, I'd just get some regular glass Pyrex ones that I could heat, use utensils in, and store leftovers in. The other ones of these are in the fridge currently being used. So like I said, it's not a total waste and I am using what I have. And okay, they look nice, they look sleek, but they're not totally functional. And then kind of the same for these, like the fact that you can't use utensils in them makes them fragile. And then if you look at our frying pans, they are horribly stained and discolored, and the non-stick isn't even working the best anymore. So if you look at the frying pans, the non-stick is a little stained and it doesn't actually work anymore. And the beautiful yellow is now not so beautiful because it's all stained up. So like I said, we use this one every day, but look, it's stained on the edges here, now here, and nothing we do will get that off. So many influencers had these. I don't even think I need to call out anyone specific because they've been everywhere. And not being able to use high heat on these frying pan, larger frying pan, small saucepan is kind of a big con. So I would not recommend anybody buy these. And actually, when our frying pans really wear out, we're probably gonna go for some stainless steel, like kind of chef grade. You can beat them up, you can high heat them, you can use utensils on them, and not go back to the Caraway brand. So we talked about the pans. Here's a closer look at the storage containers. Sometimes the lids are actually kind of hard to get off as well. They just have this little lip that you kind of have to force your fingers into. So not the easiest to use. And then the fact that you can't just eat directly out of these is a big downside. The one area where I don't really regret getting the Caraway is the bakeware. So the non-stick has actually worked quite well. So like when we make cupcakes or muffins in here, it's actually fairly easy to get them out. Cake tins have worked great. The loaf pan has been great too. We don't typically use this square pan because it's a little too big for like the brownies we make. So they get too thin and I don't really like them like that. And we have a glass Pyrex rectangular pan, so we don't really use the rectangular Caraway that much. But the pans that we do use work well. I do like having a matching set, and the storage system is handy as well. So like they're not all floating around in a drawer or a cupboard. Did we need all of these pans? No, but since we have them, we do use most of them. And there are special times of year, so like Thanksgiving, Christmas, that we will use the square pan and the rectangle pan. We'll use them all at those times of year. Which, is it worth having something just for a few specific times of year? Possibly not. I think the other consideration is we did have some of these items already. So we already did have 2 cake pans and a cupcake pan. And we had some baking sheets that were really old, so we were going to have to replace those anyway. And we'd had the glass Pyrex already. But this is why it's so tricky, right? Because you see this beautiful looking set with the storage system that's like, oh, this is so neat and handy, and there's a wire rack in the cupboard as well that I neglected to get out here. But there's this beautiful set that's being marketed hard by influencers. They're receiving it as PR for free and then showing it in their content, their videos, making it look really aspirational, making it look like a really good organizational system. And it just kind of makes you want to buy it. Then you find yourself in a place where you need one or two of these items, and then all of a sudden you've got the whole thing. Even though I would say that the Caraways in general are kind of egregiously expensive. Let's continue with the other biggest thing here, and this is none other than an air fryer. So while I don't regret having an air fryer, and I think especially depending on your life situation, it can be really handy, in particular if you're a single person who doesn't cook large quantities, or if you have maybe smaller children who don't eat a lot and sometimes require other things to be made because they don't like strong flavors. This can be a really useful tool. It's also good for maybe cooking in a rush and cooking unmonitored. So you can kind of set it and forget it a little more easily than a regular oven. Not trying to advertise an air fryer to you, but I was influenced to get this particular one. The minimal mom had it. She's got a family of 4 kids. And she was recommending this one because it's got a larger capacity. I'm gonna go put it down actually because it's also very heavy. Now the eternal question of this video is going to be, would I have bought that anyway if I hadn't seen it on the video? And I may have bought an air fryer. That's kind of a more practical item that does get used multiple times a week. So I wouldn't call that a stupidly influenced purchase. But if I hadn't seen it, it's possible we might not have an air fryer and we might still be operating using the oven that came in our house. And would it be slightly less convenient to have to wait an extra 20 minutes for some of the food we cook? Possibly. Would we have figured out a way to survive without the air fryer? Definitely. All right, let's go ahead and knock out the rest of the kitchen items. So we have all of these utensils. They're beautiful wooden ones from the brand Earlywood. And this is another Hannah Louise Poston influence. I think she had them in her Christmas gift guide as like a nicer version of things that people tend to use every day. I do really enjoy particularly these scrapers. They are really nice to cook with and saute things with. And then these are some salad tongs that we never use. This is a spoon. We do use this one fairly often. A ladle, and then like a kind of smaller scooping spoon. So some of these we use on a daily basis. I'd say these, and these are much less often used. The problem was I didn't really need them at the time. We had cheap plastic utensils and I traded them in, or decluttered them. We still have them because there are other people in our family that use utensils and we're not gonna just throw them away, but these weren't a real need. And if I hadn't seen them, if I never knew that they existed, I obviously wouldn't have bought them. I wasn't looking for nice, fancy wooden utensils. So there's another trap of the influence. I'm going to go into eco-friendly swaps where I've been influenced to buy quite a fair few things. We'll start with these stasher bags. So I think these were probably something I first saw on the channel Shell Bizzle, where creator Shelby shares her eco-friendly swaps for single-use products. No regrets with these. Obviously, they've prevented us from having to buy single-use plastic bags, Ziplocs, any of that kind of stuff. We don't buy cling wrap or aluminum foil or bags or paper towels. So these have effectively replaced those, and I'm more or less happy with them. The only issue is that sometimes our dishwasher does not do a great job of washing the soap out of these. And I think because they're silicone, they kind of, if they're not really well washed, they'll cling to some of the soapy taste. But that's really the only negative thing I have to say about them. The next thing is this dish brush, again from Shell Bizzle's channel. It's got replaceable heads, so you can just keep the handle and replace the brush head when it gets really, really used up. We tend to take a long time before we replace them, multiple years in some cases. But this works well for us. We like the dish brush. Diverging a little bit from the kitchen, another eco-friendly purchase is this Pila phone case. There was a time that they were really influenced, right? You probably have seen these before from, different sources. You can compost them, I guess, which I haven't done yet because I still have my old phone in there with a cracked screen. I just need to find a way to sustainably dispose of this, responsibly dispose of this, and then find a way to, I guess, compost this case. My current phone does not have a Pila case because I don't think they're the most protective, obviously, and they kind of come off a little more easily than I would like. I currently have a mouse case, the hard plastic, and a little octobuddy. This is maybe another influence purchase, the octobuddy. Would probably not do that again. I got it when I was making a lot more short form content, so I was trying to put my no-buy stuff on TikTok and Instagram as well. It is kind of coming off, like peeling off of the case, and it also sometimes falls off of the glass surface that it's being held onto with it, so not the greatest. Who needs this, right? Like, what a pointless product. Kind of in the eco-friendly category. This was not from Shelby's channel, though. I think I've seen these on multiple channels like Christina Mikas and even like Brittany Vassar and stuff like that. I think they have shown these before. These are the Blueland cleaners. You've got tablets that dissolve into these to make your soap. This is a foaming soap. This is a spray cleaner. And I do actually really like the soaps. We went and repurchased these for all the bathrooms in our house. The tablets are really convenient just to have in your drawer, and they foam nicely, they smell nice, no complaints. These, on the other hand, complaints. I don't think the cleaners work noticeably better than anything from the store. In fact, they might actually be worse. And then the bottles, I don't know if they've changed these since when they first come out. You can tell this pink lid doesn't actually match the yellow because I dropped the yellow one and the top broke. And when I spray, this little crack here pinches my hand when I'm spraying. It pinches the skin here. And I don't know if that's a me problem, if my skin is like more flappy there than other people's, but it actually kind of hurts like when I spray this. So I have to be careful to hold it like this, which is kind of inconvenient. But we already have the bottle, and now I actually refill it with a Mrs. Meyer's concentrated cleanser, or my husband makes his own, like, what is it, isopropyl alcohol mixture. I have one more Influence kitchen container, and this is one of those collapsible bowls by the YouTube channel Fab Lunch. She made these. It was her own business, I think. This is the large one. I used to use this fairly often for salads, especially in grad school. And I don't know if her channel is still active anymore or if this business still exists. But I have this, I use it. I didn't need to buy this from her channel, but it was definitely a case of wanting to support. I think she was a vegan recipe channel. So this was many, many years ago. I think I purchased this while it was still in New Zealand, I want to say. So before 2014. So this might actually be like 10 years old. I don't know. Consumables. So this is Emma Chamberlain coffee products. I don't use the coffee, but I think I had a coupon served to me over the Christmas period. And so I got some hot drinks because winter and hot drinks go together. This is the chai latte, hot chocolate, and they're both with oat milk. So my dairy-free self can enjoy these without having to worry about powdered milk in them. And then this is the chocolate matcha. Now, I got these before Christmas or around that period, and it is June, and I still have these. So obviously I didn't love them enough to use them up within that 6-month period. And I will not repurchase from Emma Chamberlain. Nothing against her. I don't think the matcha is very good. I have matcha that I do prefer that's not flavored. And then the other drinks, like I said, they're just not good enough that I use them within the 6 months. I tend to make my own hot chocolate out of cocoa and sugar, and then chai out of, regular black tea and spices and milk. So I didn't need to buy those, and they're still here. So I just have to use them up and not repurchase them and not fall into the trap of influenced consumables. Also in that category of consumables that I was influenced to purchase that are not here are several other things, because the consumables have been consumed to some extent, and I actually had to throw away one of them that was just so disgusting. So I did fall into the trap of the Daily Harvest smoothies and bowls. Basically, they send you all this frozen food in the mail, which, think of the resources and the waste. The bowls, I think, were compostable. So like they try to market themselves as sustainable that way. And it is convenient to just have all this stuff in your freezer that you can just heat and eat or blend if it's a smoothie. And I think I was suckered in by one of those coupon codes. It might have been Mikhail Jansi. I used to watch her channel. Please don't judge the content I used to watch, okay? But she always promoted the Daily Harvest, and I was suckered in, and don't have that here to show you because I ate it, obviously, but did not repurchase, because ultimately all those meal kits and meal deliveries are going to be more expensive than cooking for yourself. It's never going to work if you have more than just you to feed, because you inevitably have to make more food for the more people you have. And it's just a lot of waste. Even if it's compostable packaging, there's always something that's going to have to be thrown away or wasted. I now kind of get the ick from the meal delivery services. I can understand the value. I mean, at least food is eaten, but just all the plastic packaging, all the waste, all the ice packs in the case of the frozen foods, like, wow, it seems to be a lot of trouble for something that used to just be accomplished by going to the grocery store and cooking for yourself, or even buying frozen food from the grocery store. The one product that I absolutely could not finish was mud water. And I think I'm seeing a resurgence of these products with mushroom in them. So like the ground up superfood mushrooms in like your drinks or powders. And everybody's seen the Athletic Greens sponsorships. I'm actually ashamed to admit that I kind of want to try a greens powder. I'm definitely not going to go with Athletic Greens just because it's so expensive, and honestly I'm really annoyed at having seen it on sponsorships so many times. But there's another one that's like $30 or whatever, and I may try it. It's not Bloom, don't worry, but I can't actually remember the name of it right now. I've never seen it sponsored. Let me know in the comments, have you used an Athletic Greens, not Athletic Greens, have you used a greens powder before? Do you recommend it? I also saw somebody say that it's a great diagnostic tool because if you feel better when you use greens powders, maybe it means your diet is deficient in something. So you can test it out. And if you do feel better, maybe clean up your diet and add some more vegetables, and then you can achieve the same benefits from what you eat. So the mud water, absolutely terrible. And I can't believe I fell for this. Like, oh, the promise of superfood mushrooms will replace your coffee, like kick your coffee addiction by buying this mud water. It's even called mud water, for heaven's sake. Like, it was gross. It didn't blend well even though it came with a frother. Honestly, one of the most disgusting things I've ever tried to make and drink. So just don't do it. Just don't fall for the consumables. It's just probably not going to be as good as what you already have access to. Speaking of Mikkel Jancy with the food subscriptions, she was also the subscription box girl for a while, and I saw the Cause box, and these are the only things I think I still have from it. That was the only subscription box I've ever purchased, so it's just a single of the Cause box one time. This is a face care tool, the PMD. It does vibrate. And then these bowls, I have a third one, but we've already used it today, so they're nesting bowls. So I still have these, still have this in the shower, and use it not very often, to be honest. I could have lived without it. And if I didn't have these bowls, I would have other bowls. So didn't need to buy any of that. I don't have any of the rest of that Cause box, so clearly the rest of it was a waste. I don't like subscription boxes in general because you don't choose the products. And the fun of the surprise is heavily outweighed, in my opinion, by the waste of the products you didn't actually ask for. Kind of in the same vein as this little scalp massager. It's on a bunch of Amazon must-haves. I think Sierra Schultze talked about it in her curly girl method. I don't have curly hair. It is kind of nice to massage your scalp and get the shampoo in, but I also don't use this every time I shampoo my hair, so it's kind of a signal that I probably could have just stuck to using my hands. And again, I'm going to keep it because I have it and occasionally use it, and I have room in my shower, but I didn't need to buy this. We're going to dip our toe into the category of general TikTok influences. So this is actually not a regret because there's a big practical aspect to these glasses. This is Pair Eyewear, and the reason I bought these was because, first of all, one of my kids destroyed my nice fancy glasses that I bought directly from the optometrist, which I'm never going to do that again because they were like $200 or $300 and they were totally destroyed. So for the time being, I'm going to stick to the $20 online glasses, or in this case, the $50 online Pair Eyewear. But I'll show you what they look like, even though I have contacts in, so I won't be able to see. So this is the frames, this is the Kirby, and the reason I got them was for this. Because when I have glasses on, I can't wear sunglasses. I don't have the ones that go over the glasses you're wearing. I prefer the ease and streamlinedness of this. And I did get suckered into buying some different frame options. So I have like a pink one and a blue one. And I don't actually use the pink at all. When I do, I feel kind of silly, but I do like the blue. So not a total regret. Pair, if you want to sponsor my channel, I already use your product. So would that be ethical? I don't know. I would not have known about this if not for general TikTok creators. I don't think there was any one person in specific that got me to purchase these, but I saw them heavily promoted on TikTok and therefore bought a pair for myself. Back to the bathroom. Sorry for the chaos of this video, but there's just so much stuff that I couldn't organize it. This was another Sierra Schultze recommended. I think she was influenced to buy this by someone else, but I saw it in her video. This is a moisturizer, a melon scent. Apparently it was really good. Hemp's. The secret is in the seed. Oh, I actually don't use this. My husband has been using this and is getting through it, so that's great. But I was the one who purchased this and I don't actually use lotion that often. More bathroom stuff. I just saw this cup on TikTok again. I think the fruit print is like Matilda Djerf inspired. You'll be seeing that in some clothing items later, but saw this as like an Amazon must-have from other TikTok creators. and just got it to hold my denture cleaning tablets. I don't have dentures, but I have a mouth guard. And the recommendation was to clean that with the denture tablets. So I use this to hold those and make it look a little more cute on my counter. And then this diffuser, I think, was a Brittany Vassar inspired purchase. She had a business with essential oils, I think, a while ago. I don't watch her anymore, but there was a time that I watched her and then like Shea Whitney, who are both really hard on the Amazon must-haves. They do those videos and recommend a bunch of crap that nobody needs, but I'm sure they make a lot of money doing that. I have this diffuser, I have some essential oils, I never use this thing. I don't want to get rid of it because I might want to use it at some point, and it would be probably more of a hassle to rehome this than to just keep it and try to use it. I do like it when I turn it on. It's like, oh, this is a happy, you know, citrus scent or peppermint or lavender or whatever. I think I also saw this on the channel Jamari, if you know her as a creator. I think she had one of these and it looks really nice and aesthetic in her home. So I keep this on my bathroom counter and it looks nice and aesthetic and doesn't get used. Brittany Vassar strikes again with these towels. She was raving about these one time and she said she wanted to sell them herself. So I went ahead and bought them. They're fluffy. My husband hates them, so they're in our guest room. I actually don't mind them. I like them. I have another towel that dries faster, so I use that on a daily basis. But I mean, like I said, they're in our guest room. I like them. I think they're good enough for people who stay with us to use. Not really a regret, but if I was not influenced, if I hadn't seen these online, I wouldn't have bought them and I would have just had some regular, I was about to say grocery store towels, department store towels, general store towels. I would have had some other towels. Could have been these, could have been any. All right, let's do a little brief, closer look at the makeup now. And I'm not gonna go through everything here because I already did that in my last week's makeup declutter video, but I might just do a recap on what was influenced from where as kind of a rapid fire thing. I think this eyeliner was a Brittany Vassar influence. This was just a general TikTok. So were these lip glosses. So multiple creators on TikTok talking about those. These were Dearly Bethany. Any of the Merit products I had seen, like Christina Mijas and Hannah Louise Poston talking about. And then these other kind of skincare products, general drugstore makeup, falls into the category of general TikTok as well. If I hadn't seen them, I wouldn't have bought them. And then a couple of specific Hannah Louise Poston recommended lip products. Back to general TikTok. General TikTok. This was a specific Sophia Nygaard collaboration. General TikTok. These are actually general TikTok. This last category of makeup, let's get away from the dirty bench, was the old influencers. So like the OG British makeup beauty gurus. They had these Real Techniques brushes. I think one of them, or a couple of them, started the company for these. This was the OG blush that everybody had, and MAC lipsticks were just a big thing back then too. So those are the influenced beauty products. Oh, and I think the Lisa Eldridge new releases I first saw on Hannah Louise Poston's channel again, so wouldn't have known about these if I hadn't seen them there. Let me do these hair products. I have some that are very old influences, so like the pearl hair clips and the pearl headbands were really old influenced purchases. And then more recently, it's been all about the Emmy J. So Matilda Jerf and a bunch of general TikTok influencers have been seen wearing the Emmy J hair accessories. So like the small clips, the big effing clip, which is actually not really big enough for my hair. And then the, you know, the dainty ones with the butterflies or the bows. I even have the earmuffs for winter. And then also the Mason Pearson hairbrush. So this, I think, got a recent resurgence on TikTok, but I actually was influenced originally to buy this from Audrey Coyne's channel. So she's kind of a fashion, you know, very soft-spoken fashion influencer. And she talked about this being a game changer for her hair. And I think it's like a $200 hairbrush. Mine is the junior, so it might actually be $150 or something like that. And I actually got mine on Mercari, so a resale secondhand app. But it's a very expensive brush, and my husband actually uses it more than I do these days. So he can enjoy the luxury. But I think hair and beauty products are such easy categories of influence because they're just little things that get used on an everyday basis in one way or another. And it's so easy to feature the product in a video. It's probably so easy for the companies to send hundreds of people the product to show on social media and kind of saturate people's feeds and then make them want to buy it. So it's so dangerous. It's like the category of death by 1,000 cuts of influence, because you spend, $20 here, $20 there, $10 here, $50 there on hair and beauty products, and all of a sudden you have a collection of stuff that you wouldn't have bought if you'd never seen it online. So it's kind of crazy, actually. And then we have the big mama of hair products, so hyped on social media, the Dyson airwrap. I actually bought this as a treat for surviving 2 root canals and dental procedures. I'm going to talk about this later in my vlog of getting another dental procedure without the consolation prize of buying myself an expensive treat, because this is my no-buy year. So I'm living, I'm learning, I'm growing up, even though I've already been a grown-ass woman for who knows how long. I'm 31. It's not a total regret because I do like to use it and I do like the results and it is easy for me to use, but very expensive, and I definitely used it as a self-soothing tool for getting also expensive dental procedures. So not only was I spending that money, but I was spending this money too. Let's tackle some of these bags, because I've been influenced a lot by bags. And I actually avoid that now because I have one favorite bag brand, and generally I will not buy anything if it's not this brand. But there's a bunch of bags. Probably the first one was the Kanken backpack. You've probably seen these all over the place, and this is over a decade old for sure. So no regrets there, really. I've used it to travel. I still use it when I need a backpack. It's really my only backpack style bag. I think it's a classic style. It is that kind of Swedish European aesthetic, and holds sheet music really well. There's a lot of practical purpose to this bag, and I'm probably never going to get rid of it. The second oldest influence bag, I think, has to be this one. And this is also actually my first designer bag purchase by any stretch. I'm not a designer girl, so this is probably the closest to any name brand designer that I've got. And it is the Mulberry Alexa. And in case you didn't know, my name is also Alexa. So there's another reason that I was attracted to this bag. This was another one promoted by the OG British vloggers, bloggers, YouTubers. I read about this one. Either somebody had the real one or a dupe of it. And so I kind of started wanting this when I was in my bachelor's degree of college, and I got it off of Fashion File when I moved to the US. It is a nice classic satchel style bag, and because of its name, partly, the Alexa, and also because I don't have anything like this, I don't have any other squishy satchel style bags, I probably will never get rid of this. Then comes the mini danslant, slow dance. I'm so sorry for my French, my lack of French. I think this is the Johnny. And here's the brand name. There's a nice little scratch on the leather. And this, I want to say I saw on Dearly Bethany. And then I also saw a different bag from this brand on Hannah Louise Poston's channel. But it is a very cute bag. You could even wear it with my very casual outfit today, and it would work because of the white, I think. It obviously doesn't hold a lot, and I'm okay with that. I like a minimal carry. I got this on Poshmark, so I got it pre-loved. And I mean, I like it enough to not declutter it. I have kids who might want to use this in the future, so it's probably more advantageous and sustainable for me to keep it than to try to rehome it right now. The next 3 bags are squishy casual bags in the sporty nylon kind of category. First up is the Uniqlo Crescent bag. I got this because it's yellow and it matches the Onitsuka Tigers. These were both kind of a TikTok influence purchase, and I don't really regret either one. So there's the good news. The Uniqlo Crescent is nice and easy to use. I don't mind getting it beat up or dirty. These shoes are kind of the same. Obviously, I don't want to trash them and get them dirty, but I really love how comfortable they are and the design. And my husband has the same, so we have matching yellow, the same exact shoes. Did I need another pair of sneakers? No, but are these my favorite pair of sneakers that are slim profile like this? Possibly. I also find them much, much more comfortable than either my Adidas, Nike, or even the Vejas that I've got down there. So for a slim sneaker, I would highly recommend these. So you can give all your Adidas Sambas and Gazelles and all that a miss. Just go for these. Not trying to influence anybody though. And finally, we reach the cult of the bagoo. TikTok strikes again. So many creators on TikTok shared these. I think there's one really aesthetic student, Becky May, and she has a bunch of bagoos and a bunch of coloring books too. I really like her channel's looks, but she shows so many products, and it's so easy to get influenced because her little videos are so beautiful. But anyway, these bagoo bags were all TikTok influenced, and I regret this one. I mean, is it cute? I just don't know. I think I would rather wear one of my favorite bag brands. I'm gonna keep it again because I have people in my family that probably would like to use it. This is kind of another version of the Uniqlo bag, and I do like this one better than the pink one. I think I could get away with that with this outfit. It's easy, it's cute, but I clearly didn't need it, right? I had the Uniqlo one. I think I got that one first. Did I need a navy blue one? No, I just got it because I saw it and wanted it, and they're not that expensive, so it wasn't like enough money to part with that made me think twice about it, and now I have more stuff than I want. And then a reusable bagoo. I have a strawberry one that is open and I'm using it, and clearly I haven't needed to use this yet because it's not opened. I'm sure somebody's gonna need it at some point, or I could even possibly give it as a gift because it's not opened. Okay, we're starting to get into clothes and other things of that nature, so let me talk about Lily Silk. I am obviously not sponsored and never will be sponsored by Lily Silk. I did fall into the trap. So many creators that I watched were getting Lily Silk sponsorships, and I have a scrunchie left and a pillowcase from those days of being influenced. So here's a silk pillowcase and a silk scrunchie. And I had a slip dress as well in charcoal gray, and I've already resold that years ago because it just wasn't for me. I didn't need any of these items. I actually don't even use the scrunchie anymore, although there's nothing wrong with it. I will use it now that I've unearthed it from the depths of my drawers. And I obviously do use the pillowcase. This is my pillow that I sleep with. And I don't really notice any increased luxury from having a silk pillowcase versus a cotton regular grocery store one, department store one, whatever. But I have it, so I will use it. And, you know, it made a good Christmas present to myself, or, you know, from my husband to me, that I actually bought for myself at the time, but I don't need it, didn't need it. I could have let my husband just choose something for me himself, and it would have been interesting to see what that might have been, instead of always doing my own shopping. Still in the silk category, I have this Ozma silk scarf. I saw a small wardrobe, Patricia, wear hers a lot. There was a time that she was always wearing this. She would wear it as a top, which I thought was really cute and still kind of do. So, you know, tied around like so. She would wear it as a headband. Oh gosh. Which I don't think is that cute and would probably not do. I also saw Dearly Bethany wear these under hats as like a headband. So I actually tend to use this as a tie on my purses. So I'll just have it tied to my bag for a little bit of extra flair and pizzazz. But I remember wanting this so much, and I don't really value it for the amount that I wanted it at the time. You know, with the amount that I really wanted to buy this, you would think that it would be one of my favorite things. But honestly, it's really not. And I think that's the trap of the influence as well. You see it so much and you think you want it, and you really just don't, because you didn't find it organically. Somebody put it in front of your face and you saw it, and you wanted it for reasons that were not originating from your own self, if that makes sense. A little bit of regret there, if I'm honest. I also had many other pieces from Ozma. Actually, maybe it was just that one piece. I had the dance wrap top that was really big with some influencers. It didn't work for me at all. The shape of my body and the shape of that top was just not it. And I also don't love the silk noil, whatever it is. I don't love that material, even though the creators who were sharing that top talked so much about how they loved the material. So it just goes to show, whether they actually love it in real life or not, it was just not for me, and I had no real reason to trust them. I couldn't feel the material in real life, and just because they said that they liked it did not mean that it would translate well to me in my life. There was also the fact that it was a silk-based material and you couldn't wash it. So if you can't throw something in the washing machine, it's not gonna get a lot of wear in my life. Okay, I think we're gonna go to the jewelry now. First up on top here, we have this rock. So this was a special purchase from Majuri, and I saw this on a small wardrobe. Patricia had it. I'm so curious to know if she still has it, because is she really moving around carrying this rock? But she did so many beautiful shots using this rock as a prop and made it look so aesthetically pleasing and aspirational. And I actually do think it is beautiful. It's got these 2 divots in it for your jewelry. And I do like it. It's got a nice weight because it's a literal rock. But it was, I want to say $100 or even between $100 and $200. It was really expensive for a rock. And my husband did know about this purchase. He also did not know about all the things that I bought as I was buying them. A lot of these items he found out about later. But this one he did know about, and he knew how ridiculous it was that this rock was so expensive. But I think it was supposed to be a gift, so he let it slide. And at the same time that I got the rock, I got these earrings also from Missouri. I hadn't seen anybody with these specific ones. So these actually don't really count as something I was influenced to purchase as far as the specific item, but I did get them at the same time as this rock. The hoops are just random department store, so they don't really count. But the other earrings in here are general TikTok. I've seen these everywhere. The silver ones are in here. And Missouri again. I think I did see a creator with these. And then these are another Hannah Louise Poston special. These might be the smaller version of the earrings that she has. Jenny Bird, I think the brand is. So you can wear these either backwards or forwards. And hers are gold, mine are silver, because silver suits me better. So at least I didn't buy exactly what she has, even though it's not right for me. And I do really like them a lot, and I think they're well made and the right level of statement versus, you know, they're pretty small. So they do fulfill a good purpose in my life, but they were another kind of expensive piece of jewelry that I didn't need. So there's that. Now opening up the box of other things I was influenced to buy in the jewelry category, we have these wolf and moon earrings. Hannah Louise Poston has the pears. I have the oranges. I know they're not exactly the same. I didn't go out and buy the pears, but I think it's close enough that it counts as a purely influenced purchase. I don't actually wear these enough. I really like them and don't fully regret buying them, but I just need to get them out and wear them. These are also wolf and moon, and they're just a really cute geometric kind of style. I think these are Missouri, and I saw them on other kind of style channels. Mademoiselle Jamie and Daily Helen, I think, might have these. And they're great, but I don't wear them enough. So again, I just need to open my jewelry box and rotate these beautiful pieces. These earrings and necklace are both Justine Leconte. And you'll notice that I do actually wear her ring every day. So it's not a total regret. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. It's not a total regret because I do wear this every day. I never take it off. But the other 2 pieces I don't really wear. So these are kind of a regret. I definitely didn't need to buy so many things. A Nord Green watch, would you believe it? Saw this everywhere. I think the channels Use Less and Alyssa Beltempo. Both channels I actually don't follow anymore because I don't want to see things to want. And while they're both slow fashion practicers, they're not general no-buy channels. So they do talk enough about acquiring sustainable fashion that it's dangerous for me to watch them. These are all collaborations with Ana Luisa. I actually don't know the creator with this necklace set, but I saw Christina Mijas wearing this necklace set. And I think I actually bought this before I saw it on her, but nonetheless, I'm going to count it as a direct influence. And then these other ones, this is the Alyssa Beltempo paperclip necklace and the Alexa Sunshine 83 necklace. And I actually do like these pieces because they're gold, but they're not super yellow. So you can see here I have a very yellow gold piece here. This is a Pamela Card necklace that I was influenced to buy by Dearly Bethany. I think she might go by Bethany Leonardo now. But she wore this and I wanted it, and they didn't have it in silver at the time, so I just cut the gold, and this was over $200 because it's handmade and it's real gold and a real pearl. But I don't wear this, so it's really not worth that in my closet. But I'm just not sure if I should let go of it right now. So again, I'm decluttering, rehoming things very slowly this year. And then what I was saying is that the Ana Luisa pieces are not that yellow. So I find that they work better for me and my skin tone, as I generally prefer silver. All of these earrings are Ana Luisa as well. I saw Mademoiselle Jamie wear these exact ones and talk about them. And then I think I saw these colorful ones on a different channel. And these are just general hoops. I do wear these ones a lot. And I got these off Poshmark. So I didn't get all of these new, but I wouldn't have known about these if not for seeing them all over YouTube. These are just the general trendy earrings, the Bottega dupes, I guess. Just saw them all over on TikTok and just got a cheap set of gold and silver on Amazon. Finally, the Victoria Emerson bracelets. This was a Shea Whitney influence. I think she partners with Victoria Emerson. I had 2 of these. I already sold one. And I think the other brand she talks about is Miranda Fry. So I had some Miranda Fry earrings that I decluttered as well. And I don't wear jewelry enough to be influenced to buy it, honestly. I typically wear the same set of earrings and the same rings and the same necklace every single day. And I have a jewelry box full of other options. So this, to me, is a problem. And I clearly enjoyed buying jewelry more than I enjoy wearing it, which is just ridiculous. And a waste of money. And a waste of resources. Just a waste of so much. So now I'm going to have to go through and evaluate what I want to keep, what I want to try and maybe resell or gift, and go from there to try to get value out of what I have. So anyway, that is the jewelry and this random rock that I was influenced to buy. Well, I was talking about my jewelry and I think I lost sound for the last part of that, so the quality might have dropped, but here we are back in the big screen, and we're going to, well, I guess I'm going to talk about that water cup next and then get to my shoes. This is the Brewmate era, and I'm a proud non-Stanley girl, but I'm also a proud influence to buy this cup. Maybe I'm not proud that I was influenced to buy this cup, but again, general TikTok showed me this as a better alternative to the Stanley, and I fell for it. However, I don't regret it, because for me, it is a better alternative to the Stanley, and I do get the benefits of a straw cup because I do drink more water out of the straw. It does keep the beverages cold, and I will not buy any more reusable water bottles. That is what is making this not a fail, because if I were to go buy even one other reusable water bottle, then, this would not be such a wise purchase. But this is going to be the one. I talked earlier this year about how I wanted the Owala water bottle, and I didn't buy it, and I still haven't bought it. Yes. But again, if I buy the Owala, it kind of invalidates my purchase of this. So this is it. This is it, baby. And I am not buying the Owala, no matter how many times I see it. This is an eye mask that Hannah Louise Poston recommended, again, I think in her gift guide video. Nobody in our house uses this. It's just clunky. It has the removable cups that go over your eyes, but I actually prefer a mask that kind of squishes my eyelids. It kind of signals that it's sleep time. And actually these days I don't use a sleeping mask at all. So don't need it, didn't need to buy it. Even at the time that I bought this, I had another alternative that just didn't have the cups that Hannah was saying were so good about this one. I didn't need to be convinced about her talking about a product that I didn't need. It goes without saying, right? I don't blame any of the influencers who showed these products. They're just making money. And while I never want to do that, I never want to make money off of selling products to people. It's not for me to say that other people should not do it. And I do think ultimately I push the checkout button on all these things. I don't blame them. I also chose to watch their content, right? So many choices that I made led to all of these possible mistakes or products that I wouldn't have bought if I hadn't heard about them, right? So no blame to the creators. I do think creators need to be more conscious, and brands need to be more conscious, and just the cycle of capitalism in general needs to be more conscious. Bigger companies need to be made accountable. But I just wanted to add that disclaimer, right? I don't blame anybody except myself right now. And I'm not trying to judge anybody who's bought any of this stuff either. We have reached the print fresh pajamas. If you saw my closet declutter, you already know about these. I was influenced again by Hannah Louise Poston. I bought a bunch of these. In fact, while we're talking about those, we'll just do a brief go through of the clothing that I've already decided to declutter. There's one new piece in here. It's the Justine LeConte pants that wrap around and tie in the back. they're just not for me anymore. I got a few good years out of these, so I'm not mad about it. More print fresh pajamas. Aritzia Molina pants I just saw all over social media. Everlane sweater, I saw every fashion creator talking about these at one point. This nap dress that was on a small wardrobe. More print fresh pajamas. The Aritzia tiny top that Christina Mijas talked about. This random Amazon lounge set that I think I saw on Shea Whitney's channel. This merino COS long sleeve top that I need to sew up the hole in, so that's actually gonna go in my mending pile. These Teva sandals, also from a small wardrobe. And then the Emily Mariko Heavy Manners $300 sweatpants suit. So you'll notice a lot of the clothes that I featured in the decluttering video were things that I was directly influenced to buy. Now back to the things that I'm not decluttering. We have some underwear by the brand Naywai, another Shea Whitney find. It's the closest you'll ever see to seeing my unmentionables. The pants I'm wearing, you could count as an influence. I saw them all over TikTok. They're Jerf Avenue. They're just the pajama looking bottoms. I do really like them, and I'm making a point to wear them more even at home, even though they're kind of expensive for what they are, and I don't want them to get wrecked. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship as far as I love the item, but I definitely paid more than I needed to because I was influenced to buy these particular ones. Speaking of Jerf Avenue, let's go to all the fruit print stuff that I was influenced to buy. So we have the iconic robe. Before this, I was not a robe wearer. In fact, I had a white robe that I decluttered, but now I actually have two of these. One fruit print and one is the pink flower Summer Island print. Likewise, these tea towels. I'm never gonna use these in the kitchen because I don't want them to get totally wrecked, and they're kind of delicate. They're the kind of tea towel that might be good for like wrapping your bread rolls in, that you might line your basket with to take your biscuits to grandma. And then the iconic fruit print pajamas. Now, the caveat here is I do actually highly prefer these to the print fresh, this material. So I don't regret having them, but I was definitely influenced to buy them. All right, this hair towel I think was another either Brittany Vassar or Shea Whitney Amazon must-have. The iconic Barefoot Dreams blanket. I think Shea Whitney really says she likes Barefoot Dreams and has talked about the blankets, the cardigans, and more. So I had to see what the hype was about, right? I didn't need this expensive version of a blanket. And in fact, I have kind of the Amazon dupe, which you could say I was influenced to buy that one too. It's just a black version of this, the $20 Amazon version of this $150 blanket. But I have both of them, and I do use both of them. We do use them as a family. I just never needed to see what the hype was about with the expensive one. And I honestly think that's part of the marketing, right? It's like, why is this blanket so expensive? What makes it worth over $100 when there's similar ones selling for $20 to $40? And I think honestly, that's what makes some people buy it. Now for the shoes. Some of these were specific creators and some of them were general TikTok. So I'll try to go in order of the oldest. These were OG British influencer cat flats. I think I first read about them on the blog that I was talking about with the Mulberry Alexa, and the creator had some of these. And the first way that I got myself some was actually DIYing them. I sewed a cat face on a pair of plain black flats with, results may vary. They weren't that great, but they were kind of cute, and I did them myself. And then I found a pair on Poshmark with red lips on them, which made them kind of less wearable for the concert stage, so I resold them on Mercari. I found these ones also on either Mercari or Poshmark and rebought them. These are the Charlotte Olympia. They retail for hundreds of dollars. I want to say they're like $600 shoes. So I would never buy them full price, but I thrifted these twice. Then we have the Veja sneakers. Just saw these on a lot of influencers. Again, I think Use Less, Senia on there, and maybe Alyssa Bell Tempo, I'm not sure. But I saw kind of sustainably minded creators having these, and I wanted some, and I did get these secondhand as well. Went for the Grandma Velcro. Nice neutral white sneaker. No complaints really, but I didn't really need another pair of sneakers at the time. If I hadn't heard about the brand, I probably wouldn't have bought them. Nisolo. I fell hard for this brand, and I have bought and decluttered many pairs of shoes from this brand. So I had the Chelsea boots, I had the Huarache shoes, I had the Mariella mules with the little heel on them, they slip on, and I actually got a back injury while I was wearing them because they don't have a back on the shoe, so they kind of are slippery. So I resold those. I have still the Emma Oxford shoes with a little cutout in the side, and then I still have these. That might be all the solo shoes I've gone through, but honestly, that's like 5 pairs and they're not cheap. Clearly I was doing something wrong when I was purchasing them, being influenced too much. Definitely saw these specific sandals on Dearly Bethany, and they have endured in my wardrobe. This is the 3rd summer that I've had these, and they're still going, they're still kicking. I'm gonna keep them until they absolutely wear out. But I was definitely influenced hard by the Nisolo shoes. These Anina Bing boots I bought because of Christina Mijas and her love of Anina Bing. I actually never got into the Anina Bing hype specifically. I know a lot of influencers had her t-shirts and sweatshirts and all of that, but the only piece I ever had of hers was these boots, and I got them off of the RealReal, so they're already scuffed in the toes and the bottoms, and I obviously didn't pay full price or anywhere near full price, and they're just too fun to let go of, even though I don't wear them very often. General TikTok, again, strikes again with these New Balance 530s. Vivaia is an interesting brand, because I first, I think, heard about them on a small wardrobe with those ridiculously long sock boots. They went up above the knee, but they were like socks all the way up, and Patricia had them, and I wanted them, and I got them. I think I got them secondhand, and I resold them secondhand just because they were so ridiculous. Again, no shade. I'm not trying to sound judgmental, but the concept of the sock boot, like I guess I can kind of understand the ankle length sock boots more than the knee length ones, because they're just so clingy to your leg. So you can't wear them with pants unless you tuck them under your pants, but then it's like a whole full length sock. And then like, even if you're putting them over tights with a dress, it's like a little cumbersome to do so. And then if you're not wearing tights, it might be too hot for the long sock, you know, like the practicality of those. But she really loved them, and her love of them influenced me to want them. And I think that's the bottom line here, is other creators' love of stuff made me also want the stuff. And that is the crux of my buying problem. Anyway, so I was not actually influenced to buy these because I had stopped watching her by the time that I purchased these. I didn't actually know that she also had these until I randomly saw it later. And so I have the red Mary Jane flats. These were a Christmas present last year, so fairly recent. But I like them a lot. However, they're not that great for summer. So I have worn them out and about a couple of times this summer, and they're just a little hot because they're wool. They're like knit shoes. They're not real wool. I think they're made out of recycled plastic bottles, at least partly. But they're just too hot for summer. And I hope to get a lot of wear out of them in the fall season, because you can still wear like an open shoe, but the warmth of the knit material will be okay. But I think I have successfully convinced myself not to buy the pink slides by Vivaia that I wanted on my wish list for the first few months of this year, because the material would probably just be too hot, even though it's just that bit on top of your foot. But just judging from how hot these are and how I feel like I have to take them off in this weather, I just think those are just a no. General TikTok again, and a little bit of Matilda Jerf with these Tony Bianco fantasy boots. I think these are the most expensive shoes I've ever bought. If I had never known that these existed, I probably wouldn't have any knee-high boots at all, unless you count cowboy boots, but they're honestly kind of mid-calf height. So I just have mixed feelings. I'm very happy that I have these, but they do definitely represent me seeing something and wanting it, and then buying it, as you do, that I really didn't need and may not have been an integral part of my own personal style. But now I might never know, because I already have them and I'm gonna wear them. Ooh, and now we reach the last bag. No, it's not the last bag, but now we reach the bag that is representative of my favorite purse brand. And I did bring this one down because this one was so hyped on social media at the end of last year. It might still be there, but I haven't been on social media like TikTok, Instagram for a long time now. So I haven't been seeing which pollen is still, you know, the most trendy, or if pollen is still trending as a brand. And I don't really care, to be honest, because this is my favorite handbag brand. And since deciding that this is my one bag brand, I've been able to talk myself out of buying any other bags, which is great. However, I do already have like 10 or 12 pollen bags, would you believe? I will be showing you my collection of those later and how I'm going to display them. But I definitely have more bags than one person could ever need or use. And I have mixed feelings about that too. And I almost didn't even buy this one. The tote bags were my most recent acquisition from the brand Blueland, partly because I saw them so much on social media. Now, I did already love the brand, so it's kind of a mixed level of influence there because I knew about the bag already. I kind of wanted it, but it was seeing it so much that really cinched the deal and made me want it enough to push that checkout button. Not once, but twice, because I have the black one as well. I have the black one in the large size, and this is the mini of the brown. It just goes to show again how repeated exposure to something, even if you already kind of know about it and have decided not to buy it in a way, can make you change your mind and pull that trigger and make you acquire more of something than you know that you need. Another Dearly Bethany influence, and I've also seen Carrie Dayton talk about these hats by the brand Lack of Color. And again, kind of like the Tony Bianco boots that actually go pretty well with this hat. This may or may not have been an integral part of my own style if I hadn't bought it. But because I bought it, I want to wear it. You know how that is? Like, I bought all these pieces that I now want to wear instead of buying the pieces because I wanted them in the first place. A couple more bathroom items, and these are particularly sore spots because dental health is the bane of my existence right now. I'm about to get my apicoectomy procedure, which I'm going to talk more about in a specific vlog, I think. I'll save the details for that. But I saw these products on general TikTok again. So many people were using this mouthwash. I used to use Listerine, and then when it ran out, I got this. And then I saw this Guru Nanda oil pulling oil, really hyped on TikTok. So many people had it on their TikTok shop. And I mean, I got it at Walmart. I didn't buy it off of TikTok shop. But the reason I bought it was because I saw it. And I have a dental insecurity, right? It is definitely preying on one of my insecurities when I see those ads. And I will probably fall into the trap of purchase because I am so insecure about my teeth and my dental health. So anything that promises to improve my teeth is a danger zone for me. So what insecurities do you might have that social media can sell you things based on? Do you have a category like I do with my teeth and my dental health? And now we're into the clothing category. So this is all the stuff that's not getting decluttered, and this isn't even a comprehensive review of all the clothes I was influenced to buy because that would just take all day. And I'm already concerned about how long this video is. We have one last bag, and some of you might recognize this. I still have the tags on it because I haven't worn it out. But this, again, was a Hannah Louise Poston influence. It's a dupe for the Dragon Diffusion bag off of an Etsy shop that she shared because she bought the, I want to say she got a black one, and I got the same one in cobalt blue because that's one of my colors. So if I hadn't seen this on Hannah Louise Poston, I would not have bought it. Okay, let's start with this coat on top. This is by the brand Mute by JL. I saw this on Daily Helen. It's the most expensive piece in my wardrobe at $500. It's a cashmere wool blend. I kind of don't regret it because this is my one nice coat. So I guess this is a case where the influence helped me buy the version of the thing that was going to be the best for me. These are the infamous Brancusi jeans that I bought to fail my no buy year. I obviously didn't buy them to fail, but I'm just saying when I bought them, it was part of me failing my no buy this year. I had seen these on Mademoiselle Jamie did a review of Timmy. She actually said she didn't love them on her. And then I more recently saw Christina Mijas wear these and they looked great and made me want to buy them and try them. They have become a core component of my style. But again, I didn't know that they would before I bought them. It was kind of more similar to these other items where they've become part of my style because I bought them and not because I organically was like, ooh, I want a pair of white knee-high boots or I want a white hat. I just saw them and seeing them made me want them. And then because I have them, they're part of my style. So I think that's backwards. I just got lucky with these dark wash Brancusi jeans that they have the elements that I already feel like are my personal style, but I don't think I was clear-headed enough to think about it at the time, even though it was just this year. I didn't know cognitively the sculptural element is going to do it for me. It's going to be something that makes this a core part of my wardrobe and my actual style. And then same with the Blueland bags. Like the sculptural element is what I do really love about them, but I don't think I knew that as I was buying them before I bought them. I just got lucky with that brand. So sometimes I did get lucky and I have and love the items. Other times, as in all the clothing that I've already decluttered and some more pieces that you haven't even seen because they've already gone, I did not get so lucky. This is one of the infamous Lululemon Scuba, like a sweatshirt. Just saw them all over TikTok. This sweater is here to represent all of the pieces I bought from the brand Cezanne. Because I was heavily influenced to buy this brand in the first place, and I've actually already resold most of the pieces I bought because they leaned slightly too feminine for my actual style. And I did not discover that until I bought the pieces. I didn't think about my style, I didn't reflect on my style. I just bought things and wore them and noticed that they didn't feel right. This is a Cezanne belt. The Artemis, I have two of these. I have the black one and this tan one. And they are my main belts. I still like them, I still wear them. I like how the buckle is kind of a mix between gold and silver. I had many Cezanne belts. I had the Fetiche belt, I had the one with the moon, and I resold all of my other ones because this is all I needed. Also in the knitwear category, the Baba sweater. I actually got the cobalt blue one before Hannah Louise Poston did, so I was not influenced by the color, but I don't know if I would have heard about the brand without her channel. This breezy set is kind of a placeholder for a lot of Giraffe Avenue. This is one of the more silky pieces. I think I was first influenced to buy the breezy sets. I saw them on Christina Vihas's channel again, and she made them look so cool and effortless. And then I started seeing them on Matilda Giraffe herself. Like, after I started seeing them on other creators, I started following Matilda Giraffe and the brand. And that was a big mistake because obviously then I saw all the new drops and when new things were coming and what they were, and I saw Matilda wearing the pieces. And I think I was just in a vulnerable place. I had moved, I had some kids, I had multiple life changes and style crises, I guess, style crises. And I was just ripe for the picking as far as being influenced goes, as you have seen from the amount of stuff I've bought due to being influenced. This is from the influencer Aspen Ovard's brand. She doesn't have it anymore, but it's Luca in gray. It's got hair on it because I wore it yesterday. Not a regret, but I wouldn't have known about this if I didn't watch her content at the time. These are both Karen Britt chick influences. Again, I don't follow her anymore because she's a fashion channel and I too often want to buy stuff that she shows. Love her personality, enjoy her content. I just can't watch it because it makes me want to buy too much. This exact shirt in a different color I saw on Jamari's channel. I also saw the brand The Line by Kay on her channel, and I used to have 3 tops by that brand that I've since resold, every single one of. I do still love this shirt, but again, it was pure luck that it ended up being cohesive with my actual style. This is a shirt by Power of My People, a brand that Senia from Use Less and Alyssa Beltempo, and I think Christina Mijas as well, have talked about. This is a beautiful linen shirt. I actually had it in green first and left it at a hotel, so that was heartbreaking, but I think the navy blue is actually a better color for me. These are the viral Skims dresses, and I'm still not sure about these. I need to attempt to wear these more. Just saw them all over social media. Saw every creator and their mom wearing them, kind of literally sometimes. People were just making them look so fabulous and making me want them. And it was just another thing to buy. I think I saw this first on Alexa Sunshine 83. She had a strawberry cardigan, so I got a strawberry cardigan. And I think it's handmade off of Etsy. I do kind of wish that I'd made it myself though, taken the time to get a pattern and learn how to make it. And I would be able to say I made it when people complimented it, and that would have just been so much more cool. You've seen this before. This is my 2-set hoodie. I have a t-shirt that says, if you can play it slow, you can play it fast with a bumblebee, and I have this. Those are the only 2 pieces of actual merch that I've bought from creators. Without the YouTubers, there's no merch. So they count as influenced purchases. And then lastly, these are the Abercrombie dad shorts. I've seen Sierra Schultze and Carrie Dayton talking about these because of the fit, I think. I'm not a huge jean shorts wearer though. And another testimony to this is that I've had the Ed Goldie Parker shorts recommended from Shea Whitney and some jeans that I think were recommended both by Shea Whitney or other creators that like their A. Goldie denim, and I've resold both of them. I've also had Everlane jeans, and I've had the Levi's wedgie jeans and the ribcage jeans, and I've resold both of those, all the above. I've had Lucy and Yak overalls, and I've resold those. There's no end to the amount of stuff that I've been through the revolving door of my closet. And the good news and bad news is because they're hyped up items, it's fairly easy to resell them. But I do always take a loss. I'm not counting books is another point here. I've bought many a book that I've seen a creator talk about, and some that creators have actually written, like Hannah Louise Poston's poetry book or Ali Abdal's productivity book. Yeah, so there are a few things that I forgot about. I had Raycon earbuds that I saw on Good Mythical Morning, of all places, and other channels were recommending Raycon earbuds. I dropped my case and one of them fell out, so I had to get rid of those. I had a stainless steel tiffin container, also seen from Shelby's channel, which I just didn't need, so I rehomed that. Falling into the trap of buying sustainable replacements for products you don't actually use is a real problem these days. I had one of those slap chop things for your kitchen. I think I saw that again on like Shea Whitney's Amazon must-haves and decluttered that because it couldn't do anything a knife couldn't do, and it honestly wasn't that much faster. And it's much more cleaning too. Instead of just washing your knife in a cutting board, you've got this little container, you've got this thing with this square cutting implement on it. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot more Amazon items that I'm forgetting about, but I think my point has been made. I have fallen into the influence so many times, and I think what I've realized from compiling all of these items and making this video and talking through it a little bit is that maybe shopping is not my real problem. It's the consuming of content and being swayed by somebody else's opinion and somebody else's love of an item or their purported love for an item. I think, honestly, it's hard for influencers to know if they like something for real or not because they get sent so much PR. And so many of these products are beautifully designed and beautifully presented. And I think it's hard not to fall for the siren song of being sent these things complimentary and then featuring them on your channel and hearing other people talk about how much they want them as well. And I just don't know if this is a responsible way to live. I know that's kind of a deep way to say it, but like, I guess the way that consumerism is going these days, I just don't think is responsible for life on this planet. Both as far as the mental health of people like me who fall into the trap of seeing it and seeing somebody else talk about how it made their life better or how it made them happy and wanting it for myself. And in terms of the physical health of using the resources and draining the earth of things that are not replaceable in the time span that we're using them. And not to mention when all these things are added to the hot, stinking pile of garbage in the landfill. Ultimately, even if I use all of the things that I showed, you know, aside from the clothing that I decided to declutter, when I'm gone, all of these will be trash. There might be the odd thing that gets passed down to one of my kids or other friends or whatever, but most of this will probably be trash. On that cheerful note, I think I'm going to end this video here. You know, maybe this video has been suitably horrifying for enough of you to see that you might want to check your own habits of consumerism or what you see online. And I wish there was some action I could implore you to take as far as empowering a real change in society, but I think I'm still figuring that out. And for now, I'm going to live by example, showing where I've come from in the dark places of falling for influence and the resulting shame and embarrassment, and my resolve to do better as a consumer. And hopefully, if you have also fallen into a place that you're not proud of, and maybe it's not nearly as far as I've fallen, but if you want to change your consumerism habits, you're in the right place. Okay. I think that's it. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next one.